Why does it hurt so bad? Why do I feel so sad? I thought I was over you, but I keep crying when I don't love you. My name is Donell James Foreman, and I'm presenting the Dirty 30 tour here at 54 Below. And it is a pop concert that delves into the themes of love, loss, lust, and longing, culminating in your 30th year and what that means. You know, very Saturn Returns? Yeah, Saturn Returns. Yeah. Very much that. And it's, I'm singing Janet and Madonna and Luther Vandross and Stevie Wonder. And it's gonna be a great time. It's gonna be a great time.
Right. So what I wanted to ask you before is this is my first time ever sitting on a stage, and these lights are making me sweat like crazy. How do you keep from being a mess? Because you always look incredible.
You just sweat. You literally just sweat. I just did a concert on Monday, and I was sweating the whole time. But I had napkins in my pocket, so whenever I had a chance, I would just turn around and just pat it off. But that's just what happens. I mean, I'm wearing 3 layers, but it's worth it. It's worth it. Do, boy, I found someone who loves me for me. Yeah, I haven't had much drama since the day that we split, boy.
So what's something about the fear? Because when I turned 30, I was like, I'm gonna die. So what was the one thing about turning 30 that you realize, hey, this is not necessarily true?
Well, honestly, and not to get too morbid, but my father just died 2 months ago, and he was very young, and that ignited something in me that was like, we have today. We only have the time that we have, And so I always had the idea for this show. I always had these ideas of things I want to do, these passion projects, and I was like, this is the time. This is the time to do it. So it's not necessarily a fear. It's kind of like a motivation. It's like, this is all the time we have, so make the most of it. And I want to share these stories and these experiences with people, and why not do it now?
Right. So I remember when it was 1999. I was 13 years old, and you remember when everyone were saying that Y2K meant was gonna end the world, right?
Water bottles in the basement, canned food. We didn't know what to do, and then it happened.
So, I remember that back then specifically, December 31st, 1999. I was like, I need to make myself the best end of the world playlist. So I was very into J-Lo, because remember the J-Lo album had just come out, and it's like Madonna, J-Lo. Yes. So what would be on your end of the world playlist?
Well, end of the world playlist, I have to have some Shaka Khan on there. I definitely have to have Janet, because she's my queen. I would probably have a lot of Prince on it. Listen, if the world's gonna end, I want to dance. I want to dance until the last moment. That's it. I want to go out with joy. That's it. I don't want to be scared. I don't want to be hiding. I want to be dancing.
It's very Britney, till the world ends.
Also, yes, they're definitely going to be Britney on there too.
So when for someone like Janet, for instance, let's not even get into her amazing discography and her catalog. It's just overwhelmingly brilliant.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So do you go and do you pick songs that people know and love already, or do you go I want to school them on Janet they don't know?
It's a little bit of both. I am a stan. I am a Janet historian. So I don't expect everyone to know everything. But I am doing songs that people are familiar with. So there's some things on the set list that I don't think many people know. But there's a lot of things. I do Open Your Heart by Madonna, and I do All I Do by Stevie Wonder. So there's songs that people know. But there are little things that it's oh, let me check that out. Let me see what that's about. Because for me, it's really the storytelling, and it's the lyrics, and that's how I connect. So I want to show you this song that you've heard 100 times, but you've never thought about it in that way of oh, that's what they're talking about. Because we listen to music on the radio or on our phones, and we're oh, but it's this is the message. And I think bringing gravity to pop music is something that I'm very, very serious about. I thought I was over you, but I keep crying when I don't love you.
So what's one song that now you go oh, this really breaks my heart, or this really touches me, that maybe 15 years ago you were just dancing to it without noticing how deep it was?
Honestly, well, so this this last week was the 20th anniversary of Ray of Light. And, yes, and that song, like what I was just saying, like we literally have the time that you have, and she's saying quicker than a ray of light, then gone, and like you don't know because you're dancing and you're not thinking about what they're saying, but I like to interpret it on the page and say this is what we're actually talking about. We can still dance, we can still have a good time, but like whoa,
Right.
There's messages in there.
I love that you mentioned the Ray of Light birthday because I actually celebrated the Ray of Light anniversary by doing what I did when I first bought Ray of Light 20 years ago. I was just 2 years old. No, I'm kidding.
Yes.
I went to McDonald's.
Your allowance? You use your allowance to buy? How did you get it?
I did not eat at school. I'm not kidding. I did not eat at school for like a month.
To save up.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love. Thank you for taking it serious. Oh my God, I love that. Ray of Light is not in the show, but another song from Ray of Light is in the show. The first single from Ray of Light is in the show, and that's all I will say. If you know, you know, and if you don't, come see the show.
Yeah. And like a clue, if you don't know, there's a Broadway musical.
There's a new musical of the same name.
Can you imagine?
gonna say.
Can you imagine someone going, "Oh my God, he's gonna do Escape to Margaritaville"?
Yes, not that one. Maybe next time, but not yes. But yes, so come. It's gonna be fun. I'm very excited. And I still remember everything that you said. Yeah. And I always thought our love was so right. I guess I was wrong.
Right. So you mentioned Chaka. So how do you love for Chaka? Because like obviously you're, too young to have been growing up with Chaka.
My father was very musical. There was always music played. So people like Shaka Khan and Tina Marie, like, no, I would steal his CDs. Like I remember the moment I heard my first Tina Marie song. We were driving in the car to dinner. It was someone's birthday. We always went out for birthdays, have dinner out somewhere. And we were driving and this Lover Girl came on and I was like, what is this? And then I remember like stealing the CD and listening to my room and so all of those people of that time, like it was from my parents, and I just always invested in learning about them and learning their history and learning all the music. So even though I'm young, I have a foundation of those kind of artists. So Shaka is not in the show because that's a lot. I'm not singing Shaka Khan, but it is in the pre-show playlist. So come before the show and have a drink and listen to some Shaka because, yeah, why wouldn't you?
So like let's say like 20 years from now, you're doing your 50, yeah,
the Dirty 50
or flirty, yeah,
50 and flirty tour.
What modern, what contemporary pop artists do you think you're gonna be singing in?
I mean, I'll probably be singing SZA then. I'll probably be singing a SZA song in 20 years. I'm sure I'll be singing SZA. I'm sure there'll be some Charlie XCX in there. I'm sure there'll be some Dua Lipa in there. If you're like, remember this? Yeah. Even though I am a Broadway performer, pop music was my first introduction to music, and then I learned about musicals. So it feels very full circle to now have made my Broadway debut, and go great. Now let's do this. Let's do this thing too. And starting in this venue, which is a theater cabaret venue, I'm like sneaking in my pop zhuzh in the theater world, which I'm very excited about.
As you should. So would you like to invite our viewers to come see your show?
Yeah, so please come see the Dirty 30 tour Monday, March 19th at 9:30 p.m. at 54 Below.
Thank you. Bye.
So, why